What's up, everybody? I'm Aslan. Who cares? There's Michael Langston. It's time for the Warchant.com recruiting call-in show with Michael Langston here on Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here on Warchant TV on YouTube if you're not already subscribed. You got to love this content. If you're not a member of the website, sign up for it, Warchant 30. But again, this is totally free. Show some support, right, Michael? What else can they do to show some support?
You should always hit that like button for us, guys. Certainly, it helps us continue to promote these great videos we do, recruiting chats we do, spring football. I mean, that's the time. I mean, it's spring football. You guys been waiting for this for a whole year, so you want to hit that like button to help us kind of keep promoting it and keep getting it out there to you guys.
Yeah, we don't get enough likes. We're not going to do these shows. Michael won't feel the love. I won't feel love. I got to take an hour out of my day if I'm not feeling the love. Hit the thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Actually, Michael will do it regardless. Michael loves doing his job every single day. So check him out over at the Warchant.com premium recruiting board. You never have to wait. No answers will evade you. No questions go unanswered because Michael's always manning it, making it happen. All right. It is a call-in show. While we wait for everybody in YouTube to get to their stations, Michael, let's go ahead and jump into the caller queue. Man, we got a tie. We got a tie at the bag. Tie goes to the runner. Runner's the guy that's got 97 total calls under his belt. Go to Virginia Beach, Virginia, the 757. Y'all know him. It's Gator Kirk, y'all. What up, Gator Kirk?
Let's go, fellas. How you guys doing?
We're fantastic, man. 2023 ready to kick off. Obviously, last weekend kicked it off, but we're excited, Kirk, man. We're excited to get this thing cranking, and certainly going to be a busy spring and summer, for the month all the way up to probably late July. So I'm pumped. I'm ready. I know Aslan's ready. So hit us with it. What you got on your mind?
All right. So with recruiting, is FSU in a catch-22 situation with the lead recruits? We need more wins for them to sign, but with a lack of overall talent to get those wins, are we pigeonholed?
I think if you asked me that last year, I would say probably it's going to be a tricky thing. I think I've said this, after when me and Aslan did our kind of our wrap, just talking about the weekend, but I don't sense around recruits that it's such a necessity, to win like it was before because they hadn't shown any signs of that. But I think a lot of kids believe in that they're going to win. I think a lot of kids believe that they're ready. They're ready to go. They have the guys that kind of help them, and they know what these classes are putting together in 2022, and then the guys are getting in 2023. I don't think it's a necessity that you have to get W's in order to land these prospects. So I think I think you still want to win. Recruits want to see W's. They want to see a step forward to continue what they were doing, as far as what they showed in the Miami game and what they showed, the later part of the year. But I don't think it's like, depthifying like it was, last year where, hey, we got to see something, to bring us on. So I think they're developing a winning culture, and the main thing is they just got to follow through and take the next step and get more consistent in winning, get more. We're talking like the 8-win mark, get to that point. And I think if they do that, I think that's going to be more than enough to entice even the elite guys.
A little bit different, Michael, right? Recruiting off a 3-6
Yeah.
season versus a 5-7 season when you can take out Miami. You fought close with Clemson.
Yeah. I mean, recruits saw where this was going. I mean, you saw that everyone. I mean, I mentioned Miami game a lot, but for me, it was that Clemson game that really showed what this team is, what it is, and what they can be. When you consider, Clemson had so much better a roster than they did. Just the roster in general was so much better. It was on the road in Death Valley, hostile environment. FSU had a chance to win that game, and they just came up a little short. But that showed recruits like, hey, they're there. They're hitting that recruiting that winning mode as far as where they do. Now they just have to show more consistency in doing it, week by week, every week. And I think that's what really recruits are probably going to look for. But I think they know the winning's coming. So I don't think it's questions of is the winning coming. I think they know that. I think it's just about showing it a little more.
Man, we got some. What's going on? Tighten up over there, Gator Kirk. You like keep fumbling the phone, man. Hopefully that's not a sign of what we're getting from the football team this coming season. Had to mute you there for a second. I'm going to unmute you right now, though. Anything else you got from Michael before we let you go, Gator Kirk?
And listening to you.
What was that?
So, anyway, you guys make sure you hit the thumbs up button. You join Warchant and go Noles. So, and if you get a chance, watch the softball and the baseball tonight.
There we go. That's right. That's right. Gary Kirk, y'all, he'll probably be keeping us update on the scores in the live chat. He won't go anywhere.
You don't want to know the baseball scores. We're down 1-0 already.
Are you serious?
Top of the first. Yeah, I didn't see what it is. There's 2 outs, so I'm assuming it was a dinger. So
unbelievable.
But I'll keep you apprised.
All right. Thank you, Gary Kirk. You're the best.
Y'all have a great night.
You too, man.
Thank you, Kirk.
Later.
All right, let's keep it rolling, Michael. Phone calls are always fun, especially when they come from sincere, earnest gentlemen, Southern gentlemen. Our guy, Daryl, Thomasville, North Carolina, in the house. Daryl, what's going on? Good evening to you. Don't be shy, Daryl.
Daryl?
You called me back.
I called you back?
Yeah, you called me.
I love you. I love you, Gator Kirk. All right. That's all right. Let's try that again.
No worries. Y'all have a great night. Yeah. Later.
All right. I don't even know how that's possible, but I did it somehow. Let's go now. Let's go to Thomasville, North Carolina. A false start, Aslan, 5-yard penalty, Daryl. I apologize. The floor is yours. Good evening, sir.
How you doing, Aslan? How you doing, Michael? Man, hope y'all having a great evening. Michael, just want to let you know, man, you and Austin, y'all putting out great content, man. Y'all doing a fantastic job each and every day. But this past weekend, y'all did a great job. And what y'all put out this weekend, I mean, y'all hit it. Man, y'all hit a grand slam, man. I mean, y'all couldn't have done any better. Just want to know y'all did a great job.
I appreciate.
I know Chris Pearson. He solidified his commitment this past weekend, and I know I've heard. I think it's Brandon Inniss. I know he's a five-star wide receiver. I know here lately we've been kind of recruiting 3- and 4-star wide receivers, and I know is it going to take about an 8 or 9 win season to bring somebody with his caliber of a Inniss? Is he going to bring his kind of a 8, 9, 10 win season to bring somebody like him into Florida State?
Yeah, I think it's thanks for the call, Daryl, and I appreciate the love and certainly I'm glad people notice the job that Austin's done. He does a credible job. He does work for Team Site, not just my stuff of recruiting. So first off, he does a fantastic job, and we're excited about what he's done and how much he's grown as far as the job. But I would say with Brandon, it's really Brandon did said it really clearly. It's like I just want to see a few more W's. So I don't think Brandon's looking for where you have to win 10 or 11 games. I think he's just looking to see a continuous of that Miami game, what we saw, and even you could even go to the Florida game. They had a chance to win that game until the miscue started happening with the fumble punt, and that really just just sidelined them and railroad them. But I think it's really he just wants to see more wins as far as consistency, like every week and when they play. But I think he loves everything else. And the point he mentioned was Brandon mentioned when I interviewed was I really love the way Coach Norvell is building this thing. So he sounds like a kid that wants to be something that's new and special and a part of something that's going upward instead of just, oh, I'm just going to go to the top dogs and go there. So I think he's building. He's got buying into what they're doing. I just think they have to consistently show winning. And what number, I don't know. I wouldn't put a number on it. I mean, certainly, I think 8 wins and beating some rivals and beating some teams that are key matchups like the Miami game and you get Clemson at home. Maybe they could pull that off. I mean, games like that, and they get Florida back at home. So I think if you can win a few of those and then be consistent against the teams that you should beat, I think they're going to have I think they're going to be a player there. I think it was a big deal getting him on campus this weekend. I think that was the first step. And I think the next step, which Brandon alluded to, is like, hey, he's going to go to a couple games. He wants to. I mentioned the Clemson game and the Florida game with me, so I think that's the next key I look for Brandon is the follow up visit and just getting him on campus to watch this stuff in person. But I think they're definitely very much in the picture after this visit this weekend. So I wouldn't put a total number on how many wins you have to get Brandon. I just think it needs to be an uptake as far as what they've done and more consistency in getting some W's.
Okay, I had one more. I noticed Will Norman. I think he was heading to LSU. I believe I heard, and he stopped by Florida State, and I think was he the one that canceled his trip to LSU to make a return trip to stay one more day at Florida State? Was he the one that did that, Michael?
Yes, he defensive tackle Will Norman. He's a Rivals 100 defensive tackle. He actually got there I think Friday, and then was expected to go to after that he was going to go to LSU, and he said, you know what, I'm loving this. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling everything. And then he stayed. I think he ended up staying almost like 2.5 days total. So he spent a lot of time in there. I think he has a close connection with Keon Ratliff, who's on the support staff that they added. Former NFL cornerback and a former guy on the UF staff. So I think there was some really strong connections that they built there, and I think he really likes FSU a lot. And I think certainly what they've done. I mean, we talk about the 5-7 season, and even the 3-6 before that, but there's one area that FSU is good at, it's the defensive line. I mean, he's certainly taken notice of what they've done on the defensive line. He really likes what Coach Odell does. I think the culture and the family he felt there at FSU was really genuine. They really made a big impact. Now, this is his first visit, so I always say what I usually say. I want to see what the follow-up visits are. He said he's coming back. He definitely knows he's coming back, and you could tell just the way his body language was about FSU of how this shocked me and surprised me a lot more, and what I like it a lot more than I thought it would, and I think that's what really triggered the extension of staying a little bit longer, hanging with them, spending more time with the players. Hanging more times with the coaches, and just really just getting a feel for Tallahassee and just just what they're doing, watching a practice and doing those things. So I think certainly they helped themselves with Will, and now I'm just going to keep an eye on the follow-up visit. That's what I want to see. If he comes back in the summer and then maybe he comes to a game, then it's like, okay, FSU is a major threat here. So I think they set the tone of what they want to be as far as in this race, and certainly help themselves with Will this weekend.
All righty. Well, thank you, man. Y'all do, like I said, I really appreciate what y'all do. You do a fantastic job, and Aslan, you do a great job in putting these things together. I enjoy what you and Corey do on every day with Wake Up Warchant, and y'all keep up the great work. And thank you for what y'all do each and every day. And y'all hit that like button. 37 ain't good enough, man. Y'all got to hit that like button. And man, this is Florida. This is Florida State, man. We can do better than that. This ain't the University of Florida. So y'all hit that like button. This is Florida State. This is spring ball. Let's get excited and let's go Noles. And God bless y'all. Bye bye.
That's Daryl. It's Daryl. Go.
That's how you kick off the 2023 recruiting season right there. I mean, that was big time. I couldn't have said it better myself. So thanks for the call, Daryl. And get in there, guys. Call me up, ask me anything, whatever's on your mind. I don't know what to say. Daryl just knocked it out of the park.
How about a little bit of let's go. Let's get a hearty let's go out of my guy Rob Rathbun. Let's go, Rob. Let's go. I'm ready to go, Rob. Shout out to Rob. I don't have the soundboard available. I don't even have the horn ready. It's not a good day for me. I've called
that's bad.
Back. Don't have the soundboard ready for my guy. Let me see if we can take a question. We're gonna leave Rob's $50 on the screen though, because he's the dude. TR, I'll pop it up here for you, Michael. Will we get any more commits between now and the spring game. That's April 9th.
I think they will. I think there's several guys that I mentioned over the weekend, even my recruiting wrap, that I think there's like, 3 or 4, maybe even up to, 5 total that are guys that are right there on the edge. So I think they will have more. I think it's coming. I think spring game, they always seem to get like, between 2 and 3. So I think certainly more is coming as far as FSU adding to that commitment list. And by the way, for those that missed it, Rivals did their 2024 rankings, and now all 3 of FSU's commits that are in there, Jordan Pride, Cam Davis, and all the commits, they now are 4 stars. So already off to a really good start for that 2024 class. I'm sure Aslan can pull that up real quick for you guys and show you, all of them right there. There you go. Camden Fryer. Moved up to a 4-star. So it's a good start. It's a good start for 2024. It's going to be a lot of 2024 guys, I think, visiting this weekend. I'm really right now compiling that list of guys that are going to be coming in this weekend. So I think last week it was more like the elite 2023s, and then I think this week's more younger guys, where the guys that are high on, and then there's going to be some sprinkled in with 2023. So good start for FSU in the 2024 class there.
They're ranked number 1 right now for 2024. Look at that, everybody. Look at that.
Can't go higher than that, can you?
Cannot go higher than that. Cameron Fryer, son of Matt, great Florida State alum. Jordan Pride, Cameron Davis, again, all 4 stars, as Michael has said. The world now returns to its normal axis, spinning nicely and softly, and we give a little bit of that. Let's go, Rob. You're the man, Rob. Love you, man. By the way, met Joel Davis the other day, Michael. He's a real person. You saw him at a recruiting stop, so he's the dude.
Yeah, I met Joel actually yesterday too. I saw Joel. I was actually swinging by more just to make sure there's no recruits sliding in there, just to make sure it was calm. And ran into Joel outside. Ran into Jamie Warren, who helped set up the Panama City Booster Club thing. And so it was good seeing Joel again. I told him I really appreciate all the love and everything. But yeah, it's cool seeing him.
Yeah, Mr. 500. Unique rarefied air he's part of. He's amazing. Thank you, Rob. You're the man. You are. Hope you're doing great, man. Hope you're feeling better. Thinking about you, bud. Mark Sermons is here. He drops $20 in the jar. We like that. That'll hunt, as the kids say. I don't think he got his question off, but wants to thank you. It looks like and hopes to see you at the spring game, Michael. So is the spring game going to be crazy in terms of recruiting, you think? Just visitors?
Yeah, I think it'll be big because there's so much excitement of kids seeing what this team's going to look like with all these additions, these new these new freshmen that are coming in. I think people are excited about this. So I think it's going to be a pretty well attended from a recruit standpoint with some talented recruits for that game. I think a lot of them want to see, hey, what do these guys look like now? Because they're excited about what they came off of the year before. So I think they really want to see kind of the difference compared to a year ago. So I definitely think it'll be well attended.
Well, we got questions about Chris Parsons. So apparently we're back together. The breakup was temporary, if ever. Greatly exaggerated. How good is Parsons? Why is he only a 3-star? Asks Marcus Wright.
I can't really, without having a Rivals guy on this chat in call-in, I can't really explain to you why he's a 3-star. He shouldn't be a 3-star in my book. I think you watch his skill, it's 4-star. He's electric with the ball in his hand. He's certainly running wise. When things break down, he is just a difference maker. And then passing, I think he came a long way after last year when you watched him. He just had an incredible year throwing the football where he's trusting what his eyes see more. Process information is extremely good. And but I can't really give you a reason why he's not a 4-star. It's not my cup of tea as far as what I do. They ask me every time they're about to do rankings to send me my recommendations in. I sent several in. Most of them they did follow through, and some of them like Roderick Kearney, offensive lineman, that he was moved to a 4-star, which I suggested. And then Lamont Green Jr. He was moved to a 4-star is another one I suggested. And Chris is really the only one that I was kind of waiting on, but I think eventually when they see him, get to a point where I think he will be there, but I don't really have an explanation. I think he's very good. Is he better than Duffy? I think that's one question the guys say. I don't know. I like Duffy better. Duffy's more poised, and Duffy's more of a better passer and seeing things at elite level. I think Chris is what Chris does is just is electric when the play breaks down, and that's where I think he separates from probably AJ. But AJ can move. AJ's got wheels, but I think Chris has a different dynamic to his game where when the play breaks down, he doesn't just get 15 yards. I mean, he can scramble for like 70 for a touchdown, and just has the elite capability that they haven't had in a while. Probably kind of does some similar things to kind of what Jordan Travis does when the play breaks down. Except this kid's probably a little bit quicker and shiftier than Jordan is. So I think Chris is going to be a phenomenal talent. I think I'm really high on Parson, and I'm really high on his game. I think a lot of people made I guess a big deal about the the Instagram thing where he took stuff down because I think he heard a 5-star was visiting FSU, and I think it was warranted just to ask, like, wondering, hey, am I a priority? And FSU quickly made it clear, like, you are our top priority, and he is. It's not just just talk, and so I think it was kind of a situation that wasn't really that big of a deal.
Gotcha. All right, man. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let's take a caller here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We do appreciate it. Let's go to the home of Russell Wilson, Denver, Colorado, or the greater Denver area. We got Kyle on the line. Kyle, what up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Kyle, what's going on?
Just got a quick question. If we told you in 2023 we're only getting one 5-star and Michael Langston can pick it, who would you pick and why?
I like that.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Because of, I would say right now, and now my answer would probably change, later in the year, just depending on needs. But I would, and we talked about him earlier. I would pick Brandon Inniss because he's so elite as a receiver. I mean, he just changes everything when you're roster. And we know the problems that FSU's had at receiver. Yeah, there's other positions, certainly really good offensive tackles, really good defensive ends, which you would really want to see more of those. But Brandon Inniss, to me, just changes, drastically changes your roster immediately as far as the receiver position. And that's for me right now. That my answer would probably change if you ask me later, because based on needs, but just because of what I've seen, kind of last year, what they did at receiver and how they need so much help there. Hopefully these transfers will do that. But for me right now, I would go with Brandon Inniss. That would be the guy. If I could pick one guy, and that would be the dude.
You didn't even flinch, Michael. I like it. Good question, Kyle.
Yeah, that was a good one. Had to think about that one for a minute.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And as on, you're looking jacked, buddy. Keep up the good work.
Hey, man, I'm trying, man. It's Get Down or Lay Down on the YouTube comments. It's Kyle in Colorado. We appreciate the phone call, man. I haven't done anything different, man. I haven't been able to work out as much as I'd like to. Hurt my back a few weeks ago. Don't want to talk about it. Kind of feelings are hurt about it. But anyway, what about Cormani McClain? He's close to us. He's nearby, Michael. Is Flores going to be in the mix for him?
Right. I think it's really, we have to see if he's going to visit. He hasn't set anything up. He says he's going to visit. Things kind of cool, like in the end of the year. So I want to kind of see kind of where that goes once he gets back on campus. He was really high on FSU. Even when I went to the spring, I mean, you mentioned FSU was number one. So I kind of want to see. I think he's one of those kids that, people ask about wins and losses. I think adding your wins and dramatically starting to shift how you look. Say they start the season by some chance like 3-0 or 4-0. I think that's a kid that's going to dramatically affect him. So I think wins is kind of a big deal with Cormani, and I think that could certainly influence and get FSU back into that major category of being a threat.
I'll take TJ Shanahan for 500, Alex.
Yes. Yeah. He's a good one. He was definitely the most dominating guy I saw last year at offensive line. I was extremely impressed with him. I'm waiting to see if I've heard he's going to visit late in the spring, but I haven't heard a date or anything. So be interested to see if FSU can get in that one, because we know what Alex Jackson can do once he gets his hooks on guys. I mean, he is so good and reeling in these guys. So I'm just interested to see if TJ is going to show some interest and if there's going to be some movement there.
Yeah. On the screen, it says he's at Westlake High School in Austin, but he's, was in Orlando for quite a bit. What, Timber Creek? Is that the name of the school?
Mm-hmm.
Is that where Jacquez went to school? Or,
yes, that's where Jacquez Patrick went to school.
All right. So, yeah, we'll hold out hope. But, yeah, he took people, he snatched souls. Michael and I probably witnessed crimes in Atlanta last year. I mean, just during the rivals camp, he was just bullying kids. It was quite a sight to see. All right, let's keep this thing rolling. Chris Thompson, pride of Madison County. Chris Thompson, who knows? Doesn't matter. $20 sending his support from New York City. He says, "Thank you guys for all of your hard work." That includes you, Austin. If you're watching, shout out, Austin.
Appreciate it.
You as well, Michael. Obviously, you run this thing. You make the trains run on time. So we thank you, Chris. If you got a question, post it in the comments, man. We'll pop it up and we'll get you going here. All right, there he is. I thought I saw some on the rise. I thought I smelled greatness. There's my guy. Ray Pereira's here, everybody. Let's go.
Dollar bills, y'all.
What up, Ray? He hopes to see both of us in New Orleans. I can almost guarantee that will happen, Ray. He got his flight booked. Nice. All right, question. $100, by the way, everybody. Come on, Ray. Let's go.
Thank you, Ray.
Appreciate that. Sort of college fun with all this by now. All right. Defensive line. The most important position to recruit for this cycle, Michael, or is there another position of dire need? Go Noles.
No, I think that's a position I'm really high on that I think they want to load up on. I mentioned receiver last year. I think defensive line, both at the defensive end position and defensive tackle. I think FSU wants to load up. I don't think there's an exact number of how many you want to take. It could go all the way up to 6. But I think they really want to load up that position. I get the other position for me is linebacker. I'd like to see them add more depth to that linebacker group. Certainly, they got a really good transfer in Tatum Bethune. I think he's already seems to be turning heads based on Mike Norvell and the way he talks about him. But I love Kalen DeLoach. He's a freak. I think he adds a lot. But I think you need to add some more young guys. I would like to see that be. I think that's a position that I think FSU really wants to nail down some top guys and bolster that linebacker group. So that would be it for me, the defensive line and linebacker for me if I was picking position.
Well said, Michael. Shout out to our own Irish O'Fell. Check out warchant.com. There's a story on Tatum Bethune, how he's making an impact early on. They haven't even put pads on yet. That starts tomorrow. We'll have full coverage from practice. Probably around 6:30 or so. We'll get interviews. We'll have everything kind of going around 7 in the evening. So keep the light on for us. We'd appreciate it.
There you go.
Thank you again, Ray. You're the man, dude. I can't say it enough. Kind of wish I could unzip myself and be somebody else. I wish I was you, big guy. Let's keep it with linebackers. Marcus Pitts. Marcus gets a little music because he dropped some dollars in the jar. Thank you, Marcus. What linebackers, Michael, are we looking at? And are we taking any more quarterbacks this cycle besides Parsons?
Well, I don't. As far as the quarterback position, I'm not sure yet. That's kind of a wait and see. I haven't heard any that and it doesn't seem like there's a pursuit of quarterbacks. As far as linebackers, I think if you go to we did a breakdown. If you go to the premium recruiting board, which I'm doing right now, so I can pull up these guys, so I can tell you exactly these guys, so I'll be knowledgeable with everything. It's hard to remember every single guy, but I'm going to go through some.
Which thread are you going to? Your hot board thread?
Yeah, I'm going right to the hot board.
All right.
So yeah. So a few of these, these are guys that I think are going to be. I think Javon Brown is the one that I think they're pretty high on. He's from Deerfield Beach. He's a 4-star, top 100 player. I think he's gonna come in there, or not top 100, but 4-star prospect. He's a guy they're pretty high on. Visited last year a few times. Jordan Hall is another one, a different Jordan Hall than the defensive tackle you're thinking about. Linebacker, 4-star. He's one that they're pretty high on. Raul Aguirre is one that another one that is actually supposed to visit last weekend, but I'm told that he wanted to come for the spring game, so I think he wants to see more of that. So those are some of the names. Now, one that did visit is Caleb Lovely. He's a guy, it's a 3-star prospect from around the Atlanta area and the Georgia area. He visited FSU early in the spring. He's going to come back, I think, in April. So that's a guy I think they're very high on. Stan Clark, listed as a linebacker, but I think he could play like DB, so I won't really go into him. But I think those are some of the names off the top of my head, at linebacker that I've discussed, that I broke down on our hot board. And you can see the whole list on there, so that can kind of I give a vibe and a breakdown of all guys of kind of where FSU stands. So kind of look that over, Marcus, and certainly it'll fill everything that every question you have there. But those are some of the guys off the top of my head.
Good question, Marcus. Good breakdown, Michael. Good
Yeah.
stuff. TR, stash this question away. Ask us in 8 months or whatever. Too soon to say, right? He asked if there's any recruits that we think will be a steal, like Azaria Thomas was.
I think your quarterback commit could be in that category because he doesn't get the love I think that he probably deserves. Certainly, there's other guys. I guess he's referring to commitments that they already have now. So I'll look through a few of those already. I'm very high on Keith Sampson. He's pretty much, and this is the new commitment they got. He's a guy that they got over the weekend. He's pretty much a 4-star on composite all around on just about every network. And then the guy that I think is the biggest one that I think is just going to blow up during the season as on it is Lamont Green Jr. I am extremely high on this kid. I think obviously he's a legacy recruit with his dad playing at FSU, but Boots, as his nickname, is just a phenomenal prospect. I think he had around 15 sacks last year. You're talking about, he plays against some of the best. He's with a small school too, and he delivered elite performances consistently across the board every week. This is a kid that I think when it comes to when the final rankings done, I think consensus, I think is going to be a top 100 player. I think he's going to be really highly regarded. So this is a guy to really keep an eye on. If there was a guy that's underrated, it's definitely him. He's added so much weight to his frame. Saw him this weekend. Looked phenomenal, guys. I think he's up to like 230 something now. So he's really reshaped his body. Looks great, and I think he's just going to add a lot to that defense, and certainly very firmly committed. Wears his dad numbers, which is pretty cool to me when I watch him in high school. And I just think he's just a wrecking ball problem on that outside. The way he gets off blocks and gets off the edge, he is so lightning quick. He's played against really good teams like Cardinal Gibbons. He had 2 sacks against them. I played some really top talent, and the guy just delivers every single night. 15 sacks last year. I'm glad Rivals finally came around on him because I think it was long overdue that this kid should be a 4-star. I think this is a top 100 player at the end of the day. So that's the number one guy for me. There's one guy that I think should be, even ranked higher. It's Lamont. He is ridiculously good and skilled. So I think I think his where he's at is probably the lowest he'll be. I think he's going to be a dramatic player and dramatic in the rankings. Going forward. With his size and the way his burst when he gets off the edge is tremendously impressive.
I want to say he's a steal though, because like we got him and we're holding on to him. When I think of steal and I think of Azaria Thomas, I just think of like misfortune that happens with everybody else, and that we just kind of. We can't. That was kind of my whole point, was that we can't really answer that right now. Azaria Thomas, that was just. Just it kind of developed the way it developed, and we'll.
Yeah, there's some out there. I don't think there's one to Azaria where FSU just came out of nowhere. It's hard to, as Aslan pointed out, you can't really talk about a steal until really kind of these guys are visiting consistently, and then you can come in late and jump in there. But if I was picking one, I'll go with this guy. Okay, you'll give me another one. Vic Burley. Visited FSU over the weekend. Nobody gives FSU a shot. Georgia, Clemson, all these top teams are after him. But he mentioned that FSU came at him a different way and a different angle that really just jumped out to Vic. Vic's a top 50 national recruit, and so I think that's the one for me. If you're picking one, if you're talking about maybe getting a steal, that would be the guy. Now we'll have to see where it goes, where the relationship goes. He's already visited FSU twice in the spring. He's certainly very high on FSU. That's very clear. So that's one that I'll probably keep an eye on. But I was kind of taken back and surprised just how much he liked this visit, and I was not expecting the rave reviews that he gave or the comments he made on certain aspects when I know he's visited, places like Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. Those are great places, and he's saying that they came out of FSU did a a even better job as far as the things they showed. I think they made a really a good impression on Vic. So that's the guy I would pick.
Yeah, Vic Burley, 4-star defensive end. He's 6'4", 275 already out of Warner Robins. So number 50 overall prospect.
Yep.
Pretty solid. Hey, let's go off to a far distant exotic land. It's called Hawaii. There lives a man named Ralph. He's the man. Ralph, good afternoon out there in Hawaii. How are you, friend?
Aloha, guys. How's it? I am blessed, and I am healing according to schedule, so we're on track to be home for the season opener and then head on over to New Orleans with everybody.
Let's go. All right. Good to hear, man.
I was just thinking of Ralph, the other day because I was asking Diane, I was wondering how he's doing. I really hope he calls in our show because I wanted to tell you, Ralph, we're actually coming over there April 17th. So just to let you know, we'll be in Honolulu on April 17th. So hit me up an email. I know you hit me up before, but hit me up again and we'll kind of discuss some things. But I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad you're on the mend, and we hope to see you soon.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and I was going to send you a text sometime this week just to get that link started.
Okay, you go.
And I know he's out there listening. Wes in the Villages on the Sunday Smash asked how I was doing in the chat room. So, Wes, I love you, brother. Thanks for asking about me. Yeah, I was going to ask Michael, and we'll get the chat going, but do you like prime rib?
Yes, I do. I like prime rib.
The best place on the island is right around the street, or right around the corner. So that's where I'd like to take you guys. It's so good. It sells out every night, and it usually sells out within an hour of them opening. It's that damn good.
That works for me. I know Diane will love it, so we can't wait. But
right.
you got a recruiting question for me?
Yeah, I sure do. I got on late because I'm driving to a meeting on the other side of the island, so I didn't really get a chance to follow the chat. I'll watch it later. So if you've already covered this, please forgive me. But I'm wondering, how important is Chris to the rest of the recruiting class? What kind of an impression and what kind of an influence is Parsons having? And is he really quarterbacking, not, pardon the pun, getting this really awesome class put together?
Yeah, I think quarterback, I told Ira this on the Smash, that the quarterback is the most important position because that's the guy that really other recruits look to and for answers and just because they're the guy that's usually most committed and goes dialed in. I think Chris is very super locked in as far as FSU, and I think he's doing a great job as far as helping them as far as the class. He's very proactive with every guy, not just publicly but also behind the scenes. He does makes a lot of calls and certainly is a big part of what they're doing and putting this class together. So yeah, he's vital. The quarterbacks, for me, the quarterback is almost always the most important guy. Even last year, everyone's like, Travis Hunter, this and that. But it's like, for me, it was A.J. Duffy because the quarterback position is just a different dude the way people look at him. Because I don't know what it is about that position, but it's just something about it. It's just enticing connection to recruits. And I think Chris is certainly a really big piece to help put together this stuff and sell what FSU's, because a lot of these guys, some of these guys haven't visited FSU, so Chris can give them the ins and outs. And seeing Chris there this weekend, it was almost like Chris was showing everyone around, telling everyone certain little things about FSU and places you can go and in Tallahassee and certain things. So it's always a quarterback's always going to be, I think, for me, the biggest influence. So I think Chris is doing a really good job so far.
Yeah, and nothing against AJ, but he seems like a really quiet and reserved guy. Chris just seems like a real outgoing personality, and I know that can have a differing effect as well. That was my question. I don't want to tie the line up too much. I would ask Aslan, if I could, real quick, I'd like to ask a favor for you to consider maybe future content. I'm a nerd. I love all the behind-the-scenes stuff. If you guys would at least consider maybe doing something on the food and nutrition people to keep our team fed and hydrated, the equipment managers and the guys and gals that get the equipment on the plane and unpacked on a road game. I would love to know about the totality of what it takes to run this beast.
Okay. All right. Okay. I wrote it down. It's on the table. My table, I can write on my table. It's cool. I promise. It's like a whiteboard table.
All right.
It gives me some concepts.
Mike, we'll see you soon, and Aslan and Corey and everybody, and really the Warchant Ohana. We'll see you guys there getting ready for Duquesne. Oh, I became a booster today, so I'm trying to do my part from out here.
Awesome, Ralph. I appreciate the call. Yes, we will see you soon. Thanks for the questions. Good stuff. And certainly we can't wait to see you soon.
All right. Thank y'all.
Take care.
That's Ralph, everybody. Newest booster of the Florida State family. Shout out to Ralph. Shout out to the Big Island. That's our dude. I thought you already went to Hawaii, Michael.
We had to push it back because they closed everything down in February. That's when we were going to go. So we had to push it back to April, and so that was the kind of date I kind of want to work out after the spring game. So that kind of sets it up perfect. So we're excited about finally getting out there, seeing all the my wife's family, and certainly seeing Ralph and everyone. So I can't wait.
Right on. All right, there's our dude. There's the guy from the Queen City. It's Eric Angel, Cincinnati, Ohio. $40. Thank you, Eric. Michael, is Destyn Hill for 100% coming to Florida State this summer? 41 minutes, 44 seconds before we got our first Destyn Hill question.
I've said no, it's not 100%, dude. I mean, I've said that, when he gets here, I'll believe when I see it. But we have told the same thing we told for the spring started, that he is expected to be here in the summer. That's what I was told. Outside of that, I can't really tell you anything. Yes, Julian Armella is going to be here in the summer. He is expected to be here. That's when he's coming. But as far as Hill, that is what the word I've been told. Now, I know this has changed so much with Destyn Hill, but that's the word I get consistently. I ask every week, so there's nothing new regarding that, except that's what the expectation is from the FSU side of things. Besides Chris Parson, 5 stars coming in FSU, it's still too early to know what 5 stars are coming in yet. I think right now we just started the first weekend of visits, so it's a little early to really get into that yet. So we'll have to wait and start breaking that down, Eric, once I get a real feel for these visits, both in the spring and the summer, and then maybe even a little bit once the season starts. Then I'll know, I can tell you, like, hey, I think they're going to get this 5 star. They're going to get this 5 star, or watch out for this guy. So that's coming soon, but just it's going to take a little time to kind of see what guys get on campus, and then I can kind of get a feel for everything.
But hey, we know they're at least going after 2 guys where there's some interest there, right? TJ Shanahan, Brandon Inniss. They brought in Dante Moore last year. Not that he's going to, be in the mix here, but, at least they spotted him. Now look at him. He's the number 6 overall prospect in the country. So we're in the mix for this sort of stuff. Pretty cool. But then again, we're in the mix last year. We got Julian. We had Travis for a little bit. Yep. So hopefully more than one this time around. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yep. All right, let's keep it rolling here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done so already, folks. We certainly would appreciate that. Taking all your recruiting questions. Michael Langston's here to do what he does and answer your questions. How is Big Rod from Jacksonville, asks Armonte Kelly.
Yeah, Rod Kearney. I think that's the guy he's referring to, out of Orange Park. 4-star offensive lineman. Rod visited FSU again over the weekend. Said the same thing as he said before. FSU is number 1. I agree with him. I think Rod is trying to. I think a lot of times, like after the FSU visits, he tries to tell people, like, look, my recruitment. So I think FSU has a solid lead in this race. I think he's a very good prospect. I think FSU is extremely high on him. This is the guy I pointed out at the end of the 2022 cycle. I was like, watch out for this guy, because this is the guy that Atkins wants badly. He's probably the number 1 guy on their board. They love him. They love what he brings. They have a great connection and bond. And I think this kid is one that they're just crazy excited about. And I think FSU sits in a good spot there. So that's kind of how where things are at with him, Armani. I think FSU is sitting pretty good. It's going to come back in April for the spring game, so can't beat that when you're getting 3 visits in the spring. That's pretty darn good, and so I think this is a guy that's just when Alex Atkins gets hooked in, man, he's really tough to beat for these offensive linemen. I mean, he does a dramatic job, and this was the kid that ever since I saw this kid at the elite camp that we were at Aslan in I want to say July, June or July, I think it was July.
Yep.
He blew me away. I mean, he was so good at that event, and I could tell, Atkins really took an extreme high liking to this kid and what he does. So I think things sit good there, and I think they just have to keep the momentum going and keep getting this kid on campus. But things look pretty good right now.
Right on. Noles have tied it up at 1.
Yeah.
There goes Yard.
Here
He's
we
good.
go.
He's good. This also is going to be our Wake Up Warchant podcast, by the way. So you're listening to this on your Wednesday podcast. You already know the final, but hey, whatever. Montre's in the house. What up, Montre? How does FSU stand with Reuben Bain?
Yeah, I think Reuben Bain, he's out of South Florida in Miami. He's a guy that going into this season, Miami is the team that I circled that, hey, the team beat because he's from there. Now the one thing is he's from Central. FSU does pretty well with the Miami Central kids. Got Dr. Richardson from there, last year, and obviously they've nailed it with Dalvin Cook, Devontae Freeman, a lot of good players. Maurice Smith, a lot of great players from Central, so they do really well at that school. And I think FSU made a pretty solid, strong jump this weekend. The way Reuben connected with them, although his weight is on there, I think he's considerably bigger than that probably now. I think he's probably going to grow into a defensive tackle. Said he spent a lot of the time with Odell Haggins. That kind of tells you kind of where it's trending of how FSU views him. So I think that's a big deal anytime Odell's involved in the recruitment. Just a guy that's you can put him in the inside, you can put him the outside, kind of similar to what ironically Kier Thomas did a year ago. He's a similar prospect to Kier, in my opinion. Does a lot of the same things that Kier does. Athletic off the charts, downhill, great downhill rusher, and certainly can play the defensive tackle position. So I think that's a guy that they feel fits in that Kier Thomas mode of where they use Kier, and I think Reuben could do those things. I think it's the FSU Miami battle, and I think it's going to be that way for a while. I think the main thing is I think continually to show the improvement in drives as far as the product on the field. I think that's a big deal with Reuben. I think if they do that, and then say Miami struggles a little bit, I think they're going to gain the advantage. So I think it's a big deal just to show the consistent product. But I think they made a really strong move with Reuben. I could tell this visit really resonated with Reuben. He's going to come back. He's already said that, and I think this is the best visit that Reuben's taken so far. I got that sense when I talked to him after the interview. You could tell, he's been to Miami tons of times, so you could tell this visit really, made a strong impression. So they just got to keep it up. Certainly show it on the field, and if they do that, I think certainly they're going to be a major player in this one.
Dax Powers says that he lives next to Ravenwood. Says that Chris Parsons is legit. So Dax has spoken, everybody. Daryl says April 17th is his wife's anniversary and their wedding anniversary. Shout out. So if you could pick them up on your way to Hawaii, Michael, he would appreciate that, he says.
Hey, how about this? I'll tweet it. I'll say happy anniversary, Daryl. It's like, how about that?
I think he wants a ride. I think he wants a flight to Hawaii, but we can't have it all. Ed asks, Michael, how was that hot chocolate?
Ed, my man, Godfather. Oh man. Where's the clip? We got to play it, but
you want it?
It's at
this very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives here. He sleeps 20 feet away.
Ed, the hot chocolate was phenomenal. We had a lot. For those that don't remember, if you go all the way back to January, it was a blistering cold weekend hosting when they were hosting recruits. My wife brought a lot of that out there to me. I had some more when I came home. Guys, if you hadn't had DeLuna hot chocolate, man, you're missing life. I mean, this stuff is really good. We have it all the time, and Ed, I can't get enough of it. Thank you for the thermal mugs, by the way. Gave one to me and Diane, so that was pretty cool, and we love it all. Thanks so much, Ed. And hey, talk to your Pensacola people. If they wanted me to come over for a booster club, I'll be willing to come over there, just even for Ed. So I'll do it. So talk to the people, Ed, and let them know. And if they want me to come over there, we'll swing by there. I don't care if it's after we go to Hawaii. We'll drop by. Whatever you need to do. But Ed, thank you so much for the hot chocolate. It's phenomenal.
It's the dude. DeLuna's awesome. Do it, everybody. Chris Thompson's back. Looks like Florida State, he says, is trying to strengthen the trenches. Are we the favorites to land Darren Reed, and Jordan Hall?
Yeah, Darren Reed is from Carver, Columbus, Georgia. I think FSU is the clear favorite there. I think Jordan Hall's probably. I think they're the team with the momentum, but I think he's got a lot of schools like Alabama and Georgia. But I think the fact that FSU offered him first when Jordan worked out with Odell Higgins the previous summer, I think that resonates with Jordan a lot. This weekend certainly was a big deal. I hear FSU's the favorite. I don't want to just make it clear cut as it is with Darren. I think Darren's just a clear cut. I think FSU is going to be really hard to beat. But I think Jordan Hall, if I was picking both of them, I would say FSU's the favorite, but more so with Darren for me.
So you said this earlier, and I really wasn't paying attention, but you said something about Jordan Hall, and you're like, the other Jordan Hall. So there's literally, you Google Jordan Hall rivals, and you get a defensive lineman from the state of Florida, which you see on your screen right there out of West Side High in Jacksonville. But then you also see a linebacker from IMG, and his future cat's got the Florida State logo. So it's pretty wild.
That would be wild. That would be wild if they get both of them and they have a spring practice and coach yells at them, says, "Jordan, get over here," and they're like, "Which Jordan? No, Jordan Hall. Well, we got two of them." So it'd be pretty cool. Both of them are great players, great kids too. But that would be funny.
Let's see here. Good question by Johnny Buckets. When Greedy has his interview, can we just ask him where his teammate Destyn
There he is. Perfect. Johnny, you're hired. You're my promotional expert. I'm hiring Johnny Buckets. Johnny, you do my promotions the rest of the time. Any Destyn Hill question, you get it. I love that answer, Johnny. I think that's perfect. Yeah. Greedy knows him better than anybody probably, except for maybe Yak. So, hey, go for it. Let's do it.
No, we're doing it, Johnny Buckets. Good job, man. Panama Jack, correct, if I'm not mistaken. Kier Thomas from Miami Central. So, yeah, we got that going as well.
Yep.
Tiara's back. TR, not like Sierra, Tiara. Sierra, just TR. Michael, is it possible Florida State lands both running backs, Smothers and Baxter Jr.?
For me, I want to see Baxter Jr. on campus. He's supposed to visit. I'm waiting for him to confirm that on Wednesday to visit FSU. But for me, Smothers, I feel good about. I feel there's a real, legit, realistic chance. I think FSU has a good shot with Smothers. Baxter, who's previously committed to FSU, I want to see his visit. I want to see. He hasn't been to FSU's campus in a while. He said, I think he's going to visit March 9th, but I want to see it. Are you going to show up? I need to see him on campus before I can give a gauge to if they can get him. Cedric grew up an FSU fan, so he certainly likes him, but there's a lot of teams involved. Alabama's very involved. We know LSU's involved. We know Florida's very involved. There's a lot of schools that are very involved. But for me, I would say Smothers. That would probably be I think that's likely. But for CJ, it's kind of wait and see. I want to see, just how interested he is in FSU again. So it's not normal that guys decommit and then come back. But I think, if things connect and click and Cedric continues to see, the product moving forward, I think they could get him back. But right now, for me, it'd just be Smothers. I think that would be the only one I would say that's, I feel it's likely.
All right, we got two in the queue. Let's grab those as we wrap and wind things down here on the Warchant.com recruiting call and show with Michael Langston. Looks like it is none other than our guy Wes. Looks like he's calling in from the road, so I'll let him ask his question. I'm going to hit mute so we don't get all the road noise coming in. But we appreciate you calling in. Wes, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? I took it off Bluetooth, and I got you up to my ears. Hopefully it comes through a little better.
Yeah, there we go.
I just got out of my house. Yeah. So can you hear me okay?
Oh, perfect. Crystal clear, big guy.
Nice. Hey, anyway, I missed the show. Like I said, I was working, but I wanted to ask. I heard a rumor that Tyson Fomachan, the Clemson quarterback, is looking like he may hit the portal. I checked their website, and he's not listed on their up-to-date roster. And so I know we've talked several times about them waiting till after spring practice and taking another quarterback. I want to get Michael's thoughts on what you know about him, and if you think that that's a distinct possibility that he did hit the portal, that they would go after him.
I think I'd know more once if he does hit the portal and go from there. Out of high school, as an impressive athlete, when I watched him, as far as Clemson, I mean, it's been a less than to be desired what you've seen when he's on the field. He just looks really lost, and he hasn't really seen a lot of productivity from him when he's on the field. Now, maybe that's the system. Maybe he just needs to be in a system that's more controlled, that fits his skill set more. Obviously he fits kind of in a degree what FSU's looking for, which is an experienced guy. Doesn't have to be a for sure starter, just needs to be an experienced guy that can push guys. So I'd say he's possible, but I haven't heard anything as far as FSU would be interested. And I really won't hear that until once they hit the portal. That's when I kind of do my digging. But certainly from an experience standpoint, or from a what they're looking for standpoint, I think he could fit that. Might have a hell of a time getting his name on the back of the jersey though. FSU, that's a long name. But
no, he's not on the roster. So shout out to Wes with his sleuthing skills.
Good
there.
job.
Hunter Johnson left Clemson, back at Clemson. Clay Klubnik, Uyunglele, and some other dudes I've never heard of. So that's what they got.
There you go.
There you go. I'm on top of it. I thought so. It was just kind of one of those things that kind of popped out. I think we all agree that they're going to go after spring probably and get somebody that's got maybe a year left or whatever. I think he's been there 3 years now. So anyway, it was just something out there. I feel like we're going to get somebody. It's just, it was just one of those things I thought I would mention. So anyway, I won't keep you guys. Thanks. I'm glad I got into the tail end of the show. Hey, I celebrated a big birthday this weekend, turned to 45.
Happy birthday, my man.
Yeah.
Did you go anywhere? Did you go anywhere? Did you do something? Did you go anywhere?
I did. I took, I was going to go to Top Golf, but my oldest daughter, who's 16, is not a golfer, and so she would have not had fun. So we ended up going to a putt-putt golf, and then went to a nice place for dinner, one of my favorite spots. And so had I been in Tallahassee, I'd have had to end up at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill and just made do. But anyway, but we had a good weekend. It was a good time. So
awesome.
I wanted to tell you guys I appreciate all the content that's been coming out. It's been insane trying to keep up with all the videos. So good work, Aslan and Michael. I know you've been busy, and I know you're going on vacation soon. So have a good trip. And then that's all I got. But I appreciate it, guys. You guys, everybody, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to Warchant.com. Support Zaxby's, the Luna. And if you ain't been to Tallahassee, or next time you're in Tallahassee, you've got to go to the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. It's the best. You guys be good and go Noles.
That's right. Cutting the promos like no one else can. It's our guy in the villages. It is Wes. We'll drop the call there. We appreciate you. Let's go now to the southern part of our glorious state. 11 total calls. I don't know who this is, though. So, caller, if you could identify who you are and where you're calling us from, I'd appreciate it.
This is Greg from Boynton Beach.
Greg from Boynton Beach. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What up, Greg?
It's been a long time, man. A long time.
Too long, man. Too long.
What's up, Greg? What's going on, my man?
Been working late and stuff. I barely caught the show this time, but I won't be long-winded. But I just got two questions.
Fire away, buddy.
All right. What do you think Omar Graham looked like for his first two practices, and what do you think our chances of landing Santana Fleming?
All right.
I'll answer the second part, and I'll let Aslan get to the Omar, because I'm not at practice every day. I'm actually not at practice any day yet. But I will say this about Omar. I am extremely high on Omar, so I think he's going to be a very good prospect. Santana Fleming, I think FSU's the leader. I think they're the favorite. Now, the question is, well, they're after so many receivers, will they fill up at his position and not get him? So I think right now, I think FSU's probably going to land him. I feel pretty good about FSU landing Santana Fleming. I think he just wants to see this product on the field. He's going to be back for the spring game. He's obviously going to be back, I think, for their first home game. So I think he's a guy that bleeds garnet gold. If you ever listen to our interviews with him, I mean, he loves FSU. So I think as long as FSU checks the boxes and looks good as far as on the field, I think this is a kid that's likely going to be in the class. And I'll let Aslan go on about Omar.
Yeah, I was doing my research. I got my notepad out. I don't know if you can see it right now. I got my Aslan's notepad. This thing is legendary on the Warchant podcast, Wake Up Warchant. So I got it out for him. I'm gonna give you all the details that I got, Greg. They did 7-on-7s. I have them logged with the PBU against AJ Duffy when he was out there running. It was to Brian Courtney, the tight end that we've heard really good things about. Norvell was gushing about him after practice yesterday. Cam McDonald also was pointing out the fact that Brian Courtney's making plays left and right throughout practice. I missed some of the one-on-one stuff they do earlier on in practice. I'm getting the video ready, but Corey was able to kind of corroborate some of that and say that he's out there and he's 6'3", 235, Brian Courtney, and Omar Graham was on his hip and had a real nice pass breakup. But obviously with Omar being a true freshman right now, we're not seeing him, run in there with the ones and the twos, getting more reps. I know we can't mention who's running with who, but he's a true freshman. He's on campus. He's getting his feet wet, but he did flash out there yesterday, and I'll keep you in mind, Greg. So if I see him and I log him into my notebook, I'll drop it in the podcast. That way you know how he's doing. But we feel better about linebacker, Greg. That's for sure. Tatum Bethune, Amari, Kalen DeLoach look really good, man. Kalen DeLoach came off the end. I'm like, who's for? I'm like, who's this new defensive end we have? And they're like, no, it's DeLoach, man. And he came off the edge and applied some pressure and then had a pass breakup. So linebacker looking pretty better. So we like that.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for all you do, man.
Anytime, man. Look at that. Greg, man, G-Reg up in here. 2 questions like in 2 minutes flat. That's efficiency. We appreciate that. Our guy in Boynton Beach, Greg. So that's a wrap on the phone calls. I think we had one other comment on here that was maybe worth getting to. Not that you all aren't worth it, but those maybe.
I tried to tell people about Brian Courtney. This guy is the most athletic guy you'll see as far as tight end. I hyped this guy up when our recruiting wrap up for 2022. I am not surprised that he's doing so well out there. I mean, this guy he's just a guy they don't have anybody that does what he does as far as route running and speed, and he is just so electric at that H-back tight end position. So good to see he's doing so well.
All right, that's a wrap for us. The question was about Santana Fleming that Armonte Kelly asked, and our guy Greg jumped in from Boynton Beach and asked it, so we're all good on that. Don't forget to stay connected to warchant.com. If you got more recruiting questions, go to the PRB, the Premium Recruiting Board. Michael will hop in there and definitely answer your question because that's what he does. They're back at practice tomorrow, the football team, so we'll be out there. We'll have plenty of coverage from there, interviews afterwards, footage of them practicing, a story, following up observations, a podcast. Won't stop, can't stop. So shout out to everybody who called in. Gator Kirk, Wes, Ralph, Greg, Kyle, Daryl. I think that's all of you guys. If I left somebody off, I apologize. Thank you to Eric, Marcus, Ray, Chris, the other Mark. Oh, I had Marcus and then Mark. They're different people, Aslan. And our guy, Rob Rathbun. We appreciate all your support. Michael, anything you want to say on the way out?
Nope. Thanks so much, guys. I would say be glued on warchant.com, guys. There's going to be so much team football coverage. Obviously, as I alluded to, going to be more visits this weekend, more visits during the week. So we'll have a recap of how those visits go on the weekend and just keep it glued to Warchant. Hit that like button and just sit back and enjoy the ride, guys, because we got you covered. Whatever it is you want, team recruiting, video breakdowns, opinionated pieces like the one Corey Clark's done the last few days. Everything you need's here.
Yeah, actually one at the buzzer because he gave us the good in for finding out information about our guy Destyn Hill. So we'll give Johnny Buckets one at the buzzer. Jalen Brown, biggest target to get for Florida State.
He's one of the biggest. I mean, I think Brandon Inniss would be number one, obviously, but I think Jalen's a guy that you're really high on. Chris Parson and him go way back. I think Chris really knows Jalen really well. They have a really good relationship. So certainly he's a guy that they're very high on. I've heard he's going to visit late in the spring, probably for that spring game. That's kind of what they've circled of him visiting. So yeah, he is definitely a major target for FSU. So one that I'm going to be interested to see what he says after he visits FSU again, because he's been very high on FSU every time he's visited, from the same school as Lamont Green Jr. So that can't hurt. So we'll see how it goes once he visits.
All right. That is a wrap for the warchant.com recruiting call and show with Michael Langston. He's Michael. I'm Aslan. Thank you so much for watching and listening, everybody. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with y'all later.